I did.
Take a look at mine. You may have the same thing.
Probably.
Okay.
We are live and it's 4:00.
We are ready to go. So I call this meeting to order. Historic Preservation Commission, February 24th. Let's have a roll call. Let's start with Will.
Will Rodebush here.
Heidi Rieger.
John Sappin here.
Jeff House here.
And Ryan is hopefully going to be back from helping someone that's ill, I think up in Toledo. So we'll perhaps have him here in a little bit. But we do have a quorum, so we'll move forward. Approval of the minutes.
I've been given some corrections to make.
Yeah, just some little typo things, I think. Right? But other than that,
No, I think they look very good.
yeah,
I'd make a motion that we approve the
I'll second.
meeting minutes.
Everyone in favor? Aye.
Aye.
No one opposes. Moving right along. Administrative items. Next meeting, March 24th. Somehow it will be March soon. I don't see how that's possible. Does that date seem okay with everyone?
Yes.
Okay, good. Can I have that, my notes back?
Oh. Which,
I think I wrote on this.
that's yours, okay.
Next was the chairperson's report, and I am looking for my notes on that, I'm sorry. There's not a lot that we need to bring up. I'm going to skip over that for now if we can. Letter C, Planning Department. Heather.
I don't think I have anything else besides what's on the agenda, unless you have any questions. I know I email you or forward you a lot of emails, so that's just, again, correspondence from organizations we belong to or the National Trust or things like that. So I think that's basically it.
Yeah, I got an email about the National Trust Preservation Trust Forum coming up in July. I'm interested in going to that.
Nice.
So Minneapolis looks very interesting.
Okay.
I don't know if there'd be is there funding for that or not? It doesn't really matter.
Check. I think we can cover some things depending on the cost.
Okay.
You know, if it's $1,000, probably not.
Yeah,
'Cause our
the
budget's-
registration early bird for members was $350 and we're
Okay.
members, right?
Okay. I don't remember.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Letter D, strategic plan. Next steps. What are our next steps? I think we basically approved last meeting.
Yes, we approved the strategic plan. There was a suggestion from a friend of the commission, Jan Knapp, that we meet with friends of the commission to discuss possible steps we could take to fulfill the new plan, right? To work on aspects of that. So that's something we could start to set up.
And I think Jan also was suggesting we have a meeting with friends to talk about the new grant, the facade.
That's right.
The facade plan. Has that moved forward anymore? Maybe you have any information on that, Heather?
So we're still working on the application online to be digital, but we hope to have this out to the public in March. So pretty close to getting communications out.
What would you think of putting together we need to do this legally, so Heather will tell us if we can or can't, but if we could meet with some of our friends socially, maybe at Juniper's, and have a discussion about moving forward, but also identifying some buildings that we think might be appropriate when we have that all set in place. Are we able to do that and not call it a formal meeting?
I think if you have some kind of framework around it, and we can advertise it in a way that's, receiving feedback, sort of like you would do during a public engagement for a plan of any sort, you could do it that way. That's what I'm kind of thinking. We have the plan online already, so that's been updated on your website. We could have copies of it. You could even look at maybe even doing a survey that gets public feedback on what they want your focus to be. But yeah, I think you can have an event just like we had the Tell Your BG history session before.
Would that be considered an official meeting or a meeting that we would allow anyone to come and attend?
Yeah, I think anytime there's a majority of you together, it would still be an open public meeting.
Which
But you don't have to take any official action or anything. You're just gathering around a specific topic or agenda or framework.
Which I think would be fine if we wanted to pursue that. Maybe we could, I'm not sure we're in a position to look for a date, but maybe I can brainstorm something and find a time between at least the commission where most of us could get together and then we could invite some of our friends to I'd also like to get feedback from from other people who aren't able to attend these meetings as to where we might be going with our commission. So does that sound okay? I'll search my calendar first, and then I'll send some messages around to all of you just to look at dates.
Is there actually a chair of the Friends?
No.
I mean, that might be something to think about, that as a communicator to the other friends, from a friend, for something like this that you could go to disseminate information out to the friends.
It probably wouldn't be a real difficult position to
No.
hold. It wouldn't be a lot of extra work, so maybe we could
Think about
consider that. Yeah, good idea. Okay, just for a moment back to my chairperson's report. We need to get a signature from you, Heidi, that we can use officially so that we can send out letters. Should we do that after the meeting?
That's fine.
Okay. I think we have signatures from the rest of us, but we need your official handwritten signature. We did discuss in the past this possibility of a educational partnership with school, the public school, and Superintendent Hasselman. Have they been in contact with you at all, Heather? Is there any continued?
No, I haven't heard back yet. I did send an email asking for an update, but also understanding they're busy and it might be something to look at again for summer when there may be a little more time.
Okay. Okay, good. And then the letters to the Clazell and the hospital, they're ready to go except for Heidi's signature. Is that right?
No, those are sent already.
Those are done? Okay.
Speaking of the Clazell, the property owner actually came to talk to me last week, and he was really appreciative of the letter, and he looks forward to letting us know their plans to celebrate their 100th birthday, and he will stay in touch. And he is very much open to having any type of event there, and what ideas we mentioned to them. He just needs to talk to his tenant and see what he was thinking of doing.
So this is the owner, not the
Correct, the property owner.
not the director of the activities.
Correct.
Okay.
The tenant. But he was going to talk to the tenant too because he has a letter too from the HBC.
Excellent. Okay. Well, and perhaps we'd want to invite him to come to one of our meetings in the future, so we can be thinking about that.
I also sent him the historic building of the month that we did for the Clazel and told him we'd like to rerun that in the month that works for them to do whatever event they may do. And then we could advertise that as part of the historic building of the month. Plus, if he has any additional information he wants us to add to the article or any changes, I thought we could work with him to do that. So
Great.
he was happy to see that and would definitely look forward to running that article again.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay. And as you said, the downtown facade enhancement grant, we're waiting until at least March before that's actually announced.
Yep, that's coming already though, next week.
Yes, it is. Okay. So any other administrative items? I do not have anything. Let's move on to item 4, local designations, buildings of interest. Maybe before we get into that, Jeff had a suggestion about organizing that particular item on our agenda in a different way. Do you want to explain, Jeff, or do you want me to?
Why don't you? Because I'm trying to recall
Sure.
what I
Well,
said.
no,
I just said we should revisit what we list.
Yeah, you were saying that we might divide that into 2 categories, one concerning local designations or potential
Yeah.
designations, and another category being buildings of interest.
Yeah.
Am I saying that correctly?
I think so, yeah. The buildings of interest would be potentially both, either historic buildings of the month or candidates for local designation, or both. But it would distinguish the ones that we already think ought to be
So, for example,
designations.
we're working with, I know Will's working with Jan Knapp.
Yeah, could be a good one under local designations, and then
Right.
that way we could add more. It could be more added to that, and
Maybe properties that we would like to pursue or encourage.
So homeowners maybe been interested in going through the inventory process. And while we're on Jan, she has some businesses she's taking care of, so she's going to get with me. It'll probably be March since it is so close, but.
Okay. But I mean, that would probably include the South Main School or other homes that we.
Well, it seems like the school may be buildings of interest.
Okay.
In other words,
Okay.
the local designations, ones that's really serious about doing the paperwork and applying, I think.
Okay.
That's the way I think.
And then things like permits, I know we discussed that last time. Where would you put that, Will?
It could probably be under local designations and work towards getting a designated, whether it's as a building or designated as a site.
Yeah.
Then pursue it, get them on those lists, and then that'll be kind of the working list.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good idea to have
Yeah, that's
a little more clarity as to what we're really talking about there. So I think we can pursue that. Thanks, Jeff.
it's a good idea.
The former South Main School, I'm assuming we don't have any further data on that. It just sits there, unfortunately.
I overheard the attorney of the owner say he's trying to sell it for him, but that was just a casual remark.
Let's hope it eventually will sell and to a owner that will make good use of it. I know there's a lot of work and a lot of expense that will go into that for whatever they decide to do. Would that be something, though, if we are so committed, should we try to pursue making that an historic site, a locally designated site, which could prevent it from being torn down? No discussion.
I'm
on
not
that?
sure if it's a designated site, whether that would protect the building. I think if it's a building, yes, but I'm not sure if it's a site.
But if the owner would agree to list it as a historic building.
Yes, then it would be protected, but
Right.
be like Hermit's. I mean, that's a good one to discuss because architecturally it's, we mentioned last time, the architectural features aren't as significant as some of the houses, say, on West Worcester. But as a site, I think it's really important.
Well, it's what happened in the building that's the important thing
Yeah.
for Kermit, so I don't see that going
And they're going to
through.
want to remodel it probably at some point, or
Yeah, which they can do on the inside. It's just, it would be restricted on the outside. I don't know that any future owners would want to do that. Does it sound?
restricted on the outside.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the holdback from designating it.
Now, are we talking about Kermit's or
Yeah,
the
Kermit's.
school? Yeah.
Probably same goes for South Main Street. People
Yeah.
don't want the restrictions
Yeah.
on it.
Okay, well, let's, we would need the owner's permission and support for the school. I'm
Unless
not sure
we
he
went
would do
back
that.
to the strategic plan of a completed building inventory of structures in, this one's Boomtown, but if we were to do something similar to North Maple on South Main, and then you actually include the school as a important structure, like we did some of the houses, and excluded some things, but
That's true.
that may be one that gets
Another way to get around
it
having-
included.
Yeah,
Because you go on down to Jan's house, you probably would want it included, and
yeah.
there's probably others in that few blocks.
Well, there's a lot of houses there. How many realistically do you think would be in favor of that? So you might not get the 60%.
And there are a lot of rentals on that
Right,
block too,
so-
so there will be some dissent, but
Right.
we could pursue that.
Try and,
Maybe we can discuss that with Jan and get a kind of a sense about what she thinks,
she would have a feeling for the other neighbors around there too.
right? Okay, other possible sites, Hannah House, Corner Grill, Claysdale Theater, Lincoln House. I don't think we need to discuss those. We'll just keep those in a category on our agenda. Historical plaques, that's our letter C. Heather prepared for us a one-page document. Has that gone to anybody, any of the sign makers?
Yeah, so we received 3 proposals, and actually I recruited Jeff to help score those proposals based on the RFP we put out. So we're still reviewing those. I have another staff member doing it, and then I will do it. So we have 3 people reviewing those, and we'll, once we figure out the top company that we score the highest, we will work on a contract with them for the plaques and start that process. I was kind of a little bit hesitant because if we want to send that letter to the North Maple residents and then we follow up with the plaque option, will that be a different letter? You know what I mean? It just seemed kind of, I don't know, I was just trying to think of the timing of what that would look like, but maybe it won't even be till summer until we work on a contract and get a design going anyways.
Okay. And you're talking about a design for the plaque.
Right.
So this was just the little drawing that you have here was just
We wanted to give them parameters, what we were.
Something to look at.
Look at and start with, but based on the proposals we got, they have a lot of creativities and other experience with plaque, so maybe they're going to use that information and create something a little different. I don't know yet, so we'll see.
Okay, great.
It's pretty reasonable. It's twice that. 130.
Okay, that was our item number 4.
It looks like in Perrysburg, they're sending out plaques, or had this program to for 100-year-old houses or older, you could buy split the cost with the city. So you might. I'm sure you've already heard about
this is
that.
from Perrysburg, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen. They look nice.
I think that's like open to any owner. They just kind of apply and they want it on their house and they can. But we've talked different things about that. So
My hometown of Royal Oak, Michigan has a similar program. Anyone can get the plaque for the house.
Okay, any other discussion about plaques? All right. Friends of the HBC. Jeff is our most famous person here that's creating famous author.
on
That's
board.
right. That's right. Jeff, you want to update us, if you would, on what's coming up?
Yeah, as you will have seen, the February building, the Key Bank building, has been published in all manner of places, including a WBGU morning show Facebook site, and of course the city and the 2 newspapers. I am working right now on 202 South Church Street. I'll have it done by the end of the week. I'm waiting to hear from the former owner who sold it in 2024 and lived there for 15 years or so, and whose family bought it in 1923. And I asked her a few questions, and I'm waiting to hear from her. We'll have to modify our plan depending on what we hear from the Clazel. And as I said last time, there are a couple of suggestions that we had at our last meeting that we may substitute for what I've laid out here. But this is just to have a schedule to work with and modify as need be. I will do the Church of Christ because I have a lot of information from having done the church sign in our sign project. And
that's scheduled for April at this point.
That's for April, yeah.
Okay.
For May, someone suggested this, and this is a problem I haven't noted down who made the original suggestions. 126 North Prospect is the Baldwin House. It's also kind of a painted lady house on North Prospect. So I'm going to try to find someone to do that. And maybe I can get one of the barn bums to do White's Fish Market since they suggested it. I meet with them once a month, and maybe I can recruit somebody. And I'm open to any suggestions. And I know that Heather is working on the windmill.
Yeah, I started that, and so many rabbit holes. So if anybody knows anything about Urschel Machine Company, Urschel Engineering, Urschel Manufacturing, apparently they have changed names and switched hands, or they're totally different companies. I don't know. Dick Martin was helping me a little bit, but
And there were a lot of people in the Urschel family.
There
some of
are.
whom
Urschel
were
is a big family.
Involved with the engineering company, and
Yes.
some weren't.
well, then it had a different owner at one point, and he used to be the mayor. And anyway, it turned out to be a lot for me. And then it's tied to the women's club too, with the pool, the first city pool, we'll call it. And so, yeah, that turned into a lot of
Right.
different avenues of research that I don't have a whole lot of time for. So I'm trying to start early.
And Urschel was the next owner of the Royce House.
Yes, I did
West
see that.
Worcester, after the Royces. Yeah, so. I'm not sure if it's the Urschel who ran I think I knew this at one point. I think it is the Urschel who ran the engineering company,
It was definitely a son, Kenneth.
His son, that's right.
Okay. Do you want to read the rest of those, or maybe is that enough for the moment?
I think that might be enough for the moment, unless having them on the record is a good idea, but I can put them in the minutes in any case
So
with our discussion.
Jeff is also interested in creating a book, according to a message that I received the other day, of all the historic buildings. An actual book that would be published.
Yeah, that was initially suggested by Dick Martin, and I think it's a good idea. I
do
think
too.
maybe to have it published a bit before the bicentennial would be a good idea.
That would be nice.
And Dick's idea was this, that the book have articles that are shorter than some of the articles that we've published. Some of the articles we published are just fine as far as the length goes, so that they'll be more readable, and that we would keep the more detailed information in some kind of an archive. And so I would be happy to edit things for that purpose too.
That sounds great. We'll look forward to that. I'll buy a copy.
Yeah, I'll have to look into publishing and maybe a grant from, I don't know, from the state or something for publication.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Public relations educational projects. The Wood County Museum continues to offer great lecture series. Last January, which is not too far back, there was a lecture on the commodity crises, farmers markets, and the rural economy of the 1920s, and then the Great Depression lecture series, Roaring Twenties, Consumption, Credit, and Change in American Cities. Future workshops, events coming up: Wood County District Library, Introduction to Family History Research, that's March 11th. Historical Newspapers Online, April 8th. And then the museum has an America 250 lecture series. Whose idea was that? Ohio inventors. Free First Fridays and Make It and Take It craft, March 6th. Taste Test the Past. Weird Recipes, March 9th. That sounds like fun. Tea and Talk series, Wings of Change, the Women Air Force Service Pilots, March 12th. America 250 lecture series, When Oil Was King of the Black Swamp, March 17th. So some really interesting things coming up there. National Preservation Month. Actually, that's not so far away now either. As far as I know, we haven't made any definite plans.
Yeah, so if we do History Lives Here again, those yard signs and the self-guided tour, we do get that press release out pretty quickly, I believe, in March. So I guess we need to know if, number one, do you want to do History Lives Here again? Do you want to change anything about it? I would suggest you help try to reach out to people, because we tend to not have anybody sign up after the first year. We really have to personally ask people, and look at the old Historic Building of the Month articles has been helpful, because then we already have the content and we can ask the owner if they don't mind participating. Otherwise, last year we did the scavenger hunt and didn't have anybody partake in that. So I don't know if you want to do that again or just forget about it this year. And also last year we did the bike pedal tours, and I don't know if that would be something of interest to do again, or any other ideas.
The pedal tours was I think a pretty big hit, wasn't it?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And we know that there are more people who want to do it or do it again. We could change it up and offer a couple of different programs this time, I think, so.
Would anybody be interested in like having a tour of the inside of one of houses? Talk somebody into selling tickets or something? You think people would be interested in coming to that, or get somebody willing to open their house?
Indoor historic tours.
Yeah.
We could identify maybe 2 or 3 homes, maybe more, and find people with really historic homes like Rose or Dale. That means you got to have your house in good shape to show, but that might be fun. Dale just said no.
Well, we could include public buildings as well. I know the courthouse is probably, people like to go through tours of that all the time.
Yeah.
We could coordinate something so that it's on the same day, so you have a choice or something
What do you think?
sometime during.
I think that might be a good,
Or churches,
maybe a good
or
option.
before and after houses that are in progress that have not been updated yet or going to be updated. I don't know. Like the Lincoln House was, a very successful renovation.
Right. Heidi, are you suggesting that there would be a charge or,
Maybe a free will offering, or free will,
yeah,
to benefit something civic minded. I don't know. We could think about that. I don't have anything in mind, but
That could also involve an RSVP, so
yeah.
things are under control.
Yeah, I mean, because like the hospital used to do a fundraiser for the hospital guild, and so they'd have like 4 or 5 houses at Christmas time. And I've gone to Pemberville last Christmas, and they had like a tour. You can walk around and have a map and that kind of thing. It was a benefit.
could that be hooked up with the bicycle
Maybe
little touring?
Problem I see there would be that
parking.
it's hard to get the bicycle tour is already fairly dense, right? So if we need to take extra time and coordinate it with the company because they have their schedules and expenses.
It would take more hours of
Yeah.
financial commitment for that. Yeah.
Could we make it a part of the America's 250th birthday celebration tie-in advertisement, publicity kind of thing? Like we're highlighting our hometown
Sure.
history. I don't know. These are things just popping in my head as we're talking.
I think it's a good idea to explore. And maybe it's something, well, I don't know if you're volunteering to be the leader on this, or maybe one of our HBC friends would be interested in helping make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. What do you think about the scavenger hunt? Should we give that another try, Heather?
It's up to you guys. It's already, formulated and put together, so.
We'd repeat it. Same one. Could do the same one if nobody applied the last time. You could repeat it.
Repeat the
From
same, the same,
It had no entry.
same questions, the same, yeah.
You pass out a card or something with that on it on the pedal bike tour, so they finish the tour and then they
Yeah.
inspire to go off and
Yeah.
apply their knowledge, or go on the house tour. They get a card and here, go off and do this kind of.
Link that up.
Yeah, pass cards out. They're going to be doing, the community band's doing a concert at the courthouse in June. Big production with speeches read and birthday celebration. They could kind of tie it in and advertise like, hey, go inside and finish your.
This would be in May, though, right? Do we need to do all?
Oh, does the scavenger hunt only happen in May?
Well, May's the history month.
right, right.
But good ideas. I think the history lives here. I think that's an important event, and maybe we could charge each of us with the job of finding 5 or 10 of our friends that have fairly historic homes to buy into it and write a little description and get involved, so we can increase the number of signs that we'd have around town.
And getting in touch with the previous participants,
Yeah.
just if they've kept the sign to put it out or.
Yeah, and we do that. We just email the group and,
Right.
yeah.
You just keep adding each year, keep adding.
So let's see if each of us can come up with 5 people and homes that would be appropriate. And we can bring those next time in March. We still have plenty of time, right, Heather, to put that into effect if we.
I'll figure it out with a press release and let you know, because we need a deadline to be able to order more signs if we need to order more. So I'll get that out,
That'd be a good problem.
right?
Okay, that's all I have on the agenda. Any other business from the commission? Any other information or statements from our lobby? Dale says no. I'm sorry, but
All right, Rose Drain, 228 East Court Street. Regarding the windmill article, when I was doing the research for the Women's Club building, Women's Club, it was called back then, Women's Club building, the University Archives has Women's Club stuff in the archive, and there is information about the swimming area. So, Will, one time you mentioned that the neighborhood around the old Heinz factory might be interesting for an article regarding building of the month. I think that'd be cool because
just
all of those, there's so much of that housing around there that was for the workers at the Heinz.
Even just about
Plant.
the Heinz plant would be
Yeah,
an
the
interesting.
Heinz plant, and then the housing that was for the folks
Workers.
that worked there. Yeah.
Some of it might still be from the houses that were built for the glass factory that was there too.
Oh,
It might be both.
I think that if you rerun the Clazel article, it might be fun to. There's that Facebook group that is something about history of BG. A lot of people contribute to that. I don't do Facebook, but I know about that. I think it'd be fun to survey people to see who remembers their first date at the Clazel, and maybe interview the people that worked there, which I was. That was my first job. And people could say what their most memorable movie at the Clazel was. I have a story about that too. I never dated, so I don't have a first date. I saw speaking of rabbit holes, that's why I was on my computer when your meeting first opened. I saw a funding opportunity for renovation of the interior of an historic building, and now I can't find it. So I regret that I didn't copy and paste it and get it off in an email to you guys. If I run across it, I will share it.
It might be the same one that was in our agenda packet. The name of it it's the name of a woman. I can't
Okay.
remember the name, but
Yeah.
does that ring?
Yep.
So you guys already know about it, maybe?
Yeah, there were two women, weren't there? Two different.
Were there?
I think there are two grants under the two women's names.
Maybe.
okay.
Okay,
But one was
anyway.
specifically for interiors.
So I'm not sure where I saw it. I was looking at things related to community development funding, and I came across that. So, but if you already know about it, even better. Trinity United Methodist hosted tours when they had celebrated their, was it 150th? Some anniversary this year. So if you do tours, I bet they'd be happy to participate in that. With the scavenger hunt, did you share it with the schools?
Yes.
So I encountered a Montessori group downtown last May. And I think their teachers had walked that group of kids downtown. And so I think once I see that you've got it out, I'll share it with my grandson's teacher because I bet they might do it. This is just a funny addendum to the History Lives Here. There is a property in the second or third block of North Enterprise Street that has been that has hosted a History Lives Here sign for, I'm not sure when, maybe since the last History Lives Here in May. It's not a History Lives Here designated house. It's just some kids who thought it would be fun to have that in their yard. That's it.
That's great. Thanks, Rose.
Thank you. Yeah, I used that historic BG group on Facebook. There just happened to be information about one of the neighborhood stores, and I gleaned that. But then I also asked specifically for people to share their memories, so that would be a good place to do it. Yeah, thanks for that suggestion. We might even think of the Clazel as a place for a tour as well.
Wow. That's a great idea. Okay, so our assignments, we're all going to come up with 5 individuals that we can convince to be part of our History Lives Here. And Heidi, you're going to think about homes or buildings like Clazel, or, I mean, the courthouse kind of has tours already. We don't maybe need to do that, but we could, I suppose. And maybe we can, next time we can put that on the agenda and talk about it together.
Yeah, I take a modern architecture history class, takes a tour of that at the end of their summer and at the end of their spring semester with Andrew Hirschberger. And my husband and I do a little architecture law tour. So it's a little bit different than the other stuff that Matt does, but
And that would be fun.
it's coming up, so to come up with some more material.
Great. All right. I think we're done a little bit early today. Thank you very much. Anyone want to call for a close of the meeting? No? You want to keep going?
This is my role. I make a motion that we adjourn.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay. Everyone in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. We are.